Hi guys, it's Scott.
Hey guys, it's Liz.
From King Queen Cichlids, and it is Sunday night, 8 o'clock. We are so happy to have you guys. Before we get started, can you hear us? Is the audio okay? I'm going to wait for that. Someone tell me that the audio is okay. Audio good? Audio good. Okay. I always got to start with that before we get started because I just got nervous that 2 days ago or 2 streams ago when we were having that terrible audio. But all right, guys, it's Scott and Liz. Welcome everyone. I don't know. I'm looking at the wrong camera because I got in a different position today. Welcome FishTube Notification Squad, Green Team Alliance, subscribers, people that are not subscribed, people that came over from Susie Q and Aquafunk. Welcome to our live stream. Do you have anything you want to say?
No, just I love wrapping y'all's day up here at the end and spend live streaming all day with a bunch of great YouTubers and friends, and it's just great to be here on another Sunday.
Yep. So today we're going to try something a little different.
Oh God.
Today we're going to play what's called match game. One time we're going to pick one person out of our stream, and you've already answered the question.
I did, and I didn't know what you were doing, but we love to play match game.
Don't say anything. Don't give it away.
Nope.
So I'm going to say one word, and you have to complete what that word is, whoever we pick, and then we have a prize from, oh my God, Seacrest Farms. Or a $20 gift certificate.
So it's an either or.
Either or $20 gift certificate to the Wet Spot, which is a really great place.
Not our radio station, but the actual place.
Really great spot to get cichlids and fish. All right?
Yeah.
So, I'm going to... How many people are on? Do you know yet?
No, sir.
You do not know. 40 people are watching. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. Today's going to be a really great stream because we're going to be talking about how fish are judged at shows, because this is what I call the Triple Crown time of the year. You have the Keystone Class in September. You have the Aquatic Experience Cichlid Show in October. And then we finish it off. The final gem is the OCA Extravaganza. I keep looking at the light, and I keep forgetting that the camera's there.
The camera's right there.
The OCA Extravaganza finishes it off in November. It's a great, great lineup of shows. I have tried to get like best of show at each place in 1 year. I've never been able to do it. I get one at one place, and then I just crash at the other ones. So I think there should be really a big prize if someone can get best of show at each one of these shows consecutively in the same year.
Well, we could do that. We could offer up a prize of some sort if somebody were to complete grand prize and all this.
Okay, so let me keep going here. So we have 50 online. First thing we always want to do is we want to shout out to our mods. I'm not sure who all is out there, but let me start with Aquafunk, the Angel Freak. Thank you for being a mod. Mr. Big B's Fishing Things. I still keep looking up. Chris Mascow, my boy Chris, I hope you're doing well. I'm looking forward to the Keystone Clash and hanging out with you, my friend. Candy Overhauls, the super mod that is in just about every live feed I ever get on. She's already on there working it, so thank you so much, Candy. Rob93 Aquatics with the muscles and the tiny, tiny shirt. We love you, man. And Michael's from Michael's Fish Room. I think he's at Super Cichlids. I haven't seen Michael lately on live streams, but if he's in the house, thank you, Michael, for being here and being a mod. I already have my thank you up too quick because I wanted to show you. Thank you for our mods because they always keep the trolls away. So we want to say thank you to them.
Trolls can stay under bridges, not in live streams.
So I'm going to give it over to you to shout out some people while I go get your wine.
So first and foremost, I want to welcome Gary Haas, first time watcher, long time friend.
Thank you.
And of course, Keller's Aquatics, Quantum Star Aquatics, Crystal's Pets and Plants, the Ryer family, love you guys. Tiffany White, Daniel Keeping Fish, The Salty Reef. Let me scroll around here. Rounded Rob, RLC Aquatics, Lacey's Place. There are so many people, like Scott said, 50 people on. It is really hard to shout everyone. Science Gal Aquatics, Inventory King, Fish Tank Barn, Don Gooman, I mean,
Oh my
I can't, you guys, Oddball Aquatics, Big City Bettas, everybody's here, and it is just heartwarming.
All right, I think that's enough, people. Everyone, please share this stream out. Again, we are going to be talking about... You can't pour that yet. You can't pour that
Why?
yet. Everyone, we're going to be talking about fish shows, so get everyone involved that you know that is going to be involved in either the Keystone Clash. I just told you don't pour it. You're not listening to me.
I thought you said don't drink it.
Keystone Class, the AE Cichlid show, and then the OCA extravaganza. So, before we get started, as we always say, this is probably going to be PG-17. There's going to be a little bit of wine here. There might be some
bit of wine.
there might be some adult content, so we just like to let our viewers know if you have someone underage, you don't want to see someone drinking some wine, which is going to be seen on TV anywhere anyway. We just like to let you know in case you want to move some young ones out. How do you say it?
Store the children in the overhead position.
Now, you guys have been super generous with your super chats. In particular, some of you guys like to super chat Liz specifically for a wine. She again takes that money, goes out to various wineries, and picks wines that she likes to talk about. So without further ado, tell us about your wine today.
So again, one of my new favorite wineries called Jackson Square over here in Pennsylvania, right down the road from us. This is a paralyzing peach, and I love a good fruit wine. Very, very tasty. Can I pour it now?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And I am drinking the very delicious cherry Coca-Cola.
Not a sponsor, but hey.
Yeah, because I'm just not that big of an
All right, so real quick
alcohol
before
drinker.
we move on, I just want to give a quick holla. Jay Wilson in the house.
Jay's in the house. What is up, Jay?
I really wanted to say that.
Ooh, that is flat.
So Deb's got some Pinot Grigio. She has sent the kids to bed.
Oh, good. All right, so normally around this time we ask you, what did you have to eat tonight? What are you drinking? What are you snacking on right now? And then we'll proceed with our show. But let us know what you're eating, what you're drinking.
All right. So Harley says she can't wait to meet us at the OCA this year. Jonathan introduced us on Facebook. First time watching you guys live. Well, welcome to the stream.
Thank you very much. It's funny that Jay's here because he really reintroduced us into YouTube as well. He was the first person to kind of put us out there. So thank you very much, Jay. Always good to have you in the house.
All right. So Low Life is doing dabs and drinking sangria. Now, I don't know what dabs is. Is that some...
I don't know either. And I see Bob for Kayla's Aquatics. Cherry orange is goo.
Is goo
You
or
forgot
good?
the D. 54 Punchy,
All
what is
right.
up, Pam? How you doing?
Cheesesteak, popcorn, donuts, and tea. All the Diet Coke and quarter pounder, drinking water.
All right, Chris, I
All
see
kinds of
you.
things.
I hope you're doing well, Chris. We got to hook up, man. I haven't seen you in so long.
Smell that. Just smell it.
It smells delicious.
Like peach.
Is it sweet?
Yes.
All right, I might take a little shot of it a little later. All right, what is DAPS? I see RLC. What is DAPS? Oh, you're just saying DAPS like, all right, what up? Okay, I got that. My bad.
I thought it was new food.
Yeah, you messed me all up. All right, so let's move on here.
Okay.
So we are going to talk about the news, King and Queen Cichlid news. We had an incredible weekend. Number one, we got new furniture.
Oh.
I know that's not fish related,
but it is amazing just the same.
Our animals were just tearing up our... I'm not even going to say leather. It was probably pleather.
Pleather.
And so we finally decided just to get some new furniture. That was so hard getting that furniture in. We got a big section on. You know, you always think it's going to fit in the house, and then you get it, and you're like, oh, my God.
Well, now we do live in an older house, and I think back then they built the doors a little smaller. So I think nowadays the doors are built a little bigger for big furniture.
Right. But, so that was our Friday night. Then, of course, you guys know we hung out with KG Tropicals and River Life Rat Cross. It was such a great time.
Oh my God, so much fun.
It was so much fun. I was a little, I don't want to say nervous, but apprehensive because you never know. You know, you see people on videos and you think one thing and then you think, oh my gosh, are they going to be different?
Phew.
Bless you. John and Lisa are just two of the nicest people you'll ever want to meet. Throw in Rack. It was a great time.
Yeah.
Now, I threw a question out there on one of the live feeds, either John's or Rack's, and I said, who do you think is going to talk more? Or who's going to out-talk the other? Me, John, or Rack? You guys know what the answer to that was?
I don't, because I wasn't paying attention because I was talking to Lisa.
Well, the answer to the question is none of us, because Discus Hans did more talking that night. Yes, if you guys don't know, we actually went to see Discus Hans, who has a, what do you want to call it?
Discus House?
Discus House in Baltimore, where he imports his discus from Germany, and then he sells them from that location. We've been there once before. We went there again yesterday. Just an incredible spot. You keeping up on the...
Oh, no. Good Lord, no. Well, everybody's saying hi to each other, and I mean, I didn't want to interject.
Okay, but if you see something, you got to say something.
Yes, sir.
All right, so anyway, just a great spot. We've had a lot of good times. Now, one of the things that John has said, and he's dropping his video tonight, which is incredible to me, because we took so much footage. We went to 3 different stores, and I went through 2 cameras of footage.
2 cameras, a cell phone, and then my cell phone.
And I can't believe, he texted me today and it's like, I'm dropping a video tonight, and I'm like,
oh my gosh.
You got like elves in your fish factory over there that's editing all this material for you? Anyway, long story short, we are going to have somewhat of a contest to see who can make the most liked video. I don't know if John's on or not yet, but we just decided to have a little competition. Do you want to touch?
So, we did not get any Discus Chewy, but if you are in the area and want to go by Discus Hans shop, you absolutely can go and purchase Discus. These are amazing, gorgeous fish.
Okay. You can do everything she said, however, you can't go over there. It's by appointment only. People need to know.
Sorry.
You need to call first, make an appointment, which is why I was shocked that Discus actually let us do some filming in there, because he's old school and he's pretty protective about the way he does things. But he did allow us to film in there, and I was very fortunate that he did that.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know, when I created the Cyclic Club of York 7 years ago, Discus Hans was our happy birthday presentation at the end of the year. He came up, he brought, 30, 40 different discus?
Yeah, I mean, it was
donated them to raise money for the Cyclic Club of York. It was amazing. He hadn't done that for any local clubs in years, and for him to do that on our first year was simply amazing. So I owe a great deal of debt to Discus Hans, and we'll always appreciate him.
So KG Tropicals, John is here.
What's up?
As well as our friend Thirsty Rabbit.
Thirsty Rabbit, what is up, my friend? All right, I'm going to keep going on with the news. So, other things in the news is next Saturday, we are actually going to do a tour of what's considered one of the biggest fish stores in the country. We're going to go to that fish place. They're actually letting us come in an hour before the store opens so we can take some footage of the fish room, do a walkthrough, and then of course it's going to be Labor Day weekend, so it's going to be jam-packed with people there buying stuff. So we wanted to get in early, get the footage before everyone wrecked the place, and then kind of back off and then take footage of everyone coming in and on all the stuff that takes place. So we're really excited about that. I've told Liz 100 million times that we take that store for granted because
we do. It's in our backyard.
We're so spoiled, but when people come to that store for the first time, they're just shocked. They're like, "Oh my God, this is such a big and great fish store." Yes.
So Funk asks, you did a contest with likes against KG? ?
No. I told KG he has us outmanned by 30 times, or probably more than that, 50 times. So he's got 120 subscribers, 120,000 subscribers. So I think we're going to pick a couple of people or maybe some mods and say, hey, choose your favorite video. I'm not sure how it's going to happen. I tell you what, I don't care who wins it. I think John should win it because it was just a great time. I thought we were going to be out for 3 hours. We ended up being out all night till like 8 o'clock.
And that's, we don't normally stay out all day like that. We thought we would be home by 4 in the afternoon.
Yep.
And we didn't make it to Hans till, we didn't leave Hans till after.
We made it to Hans at 3. We didn't leave Hans till almost 7 o'clock. Hence, he was the winner of the most talkative person award.
Yes, and he's the sweetest though, but he's got stories for days.
Yeah. So anyway, John is dropping his video tonight. Definitely check it out. I'm sure it's going to be great. I'm not going to ruin the surprise of what John got, but it is exciting. We spent he spent a lot of time trying to decide what the perfect combination would be. Very thoughtful guy. Wanted to make sure as always, he was taking care of the fish's health, danger, who's going to beat up on who. Is this the right combination? Which I thought was outstanding. He even asked you your thoughts, me my thoughts, Rack his thoughts. And I think he came up with a really amazing combination of fish. I can't wait to see it. I actually picked up something too, and I'm really excited about it, but it's in the quarantine tank right now. He's a beast, and I can't wait to show you guys what I got from Lucky's Aquarium, but that will be in my video too. Do you need to say anything?
All right, so Harley says, while we are in Ohio, I would highly recommend making a trip to the Dayton area and checking out a local fish store called Gerber's Tropical Fish. It's probably the biggest fish store in Ohio.
Okay.
And Candy said there is no way she's picking between you guys for a pail.
To me, John already won. I mean, John is a huge YouTuber. He's a rock star in my opinion. He won't like me saying that because he's very has no ego. He's very down to earth, but he's a rock star. And for him to take the time with me and Rack, smaller channels to give us some knowledge, just to spotlight us. I mean, already my views have gone up already. I've gained probably 50 subs in the last 2 days just from the mention of being together. Now imagine when the video actually drops. My video drops of him and Rack's video drops. It's gonna be crazy.
So it was really cool, like sitting around at lunch, the tips that John had to share with us for our do's and don'ts of videos.
Yeah, when you have 120,000 subscribers and counting, you have some knowledge, you have some experience, and it's great. What's that?
So Candy said John gave her first wrench. She was the
oh wow,
that was her first moderated channel.
That tells you right there, awesome. John knows what he's doing because Candy is the best mod in the world. So yet another feather in John's cap. All right, the other thing I want to talk about, because we got to get to this show stuff. I did hear some stuff. Thank you, Karen, for giving me your honest opinion. We do spend a lot of time talking, and it takes us a while to actually get to the topic that we're talking about. So we're going to try to streamline that at some point. It might not happen now. I'm trying really hard, but we're going to try to streamline that so we can get to our stuff better. Anyway, I dropped a video out yesterday at 1 o'clock. Aggressive monster cichlids. It has over 1,700 views.
That's awesome.
In 24 hours, which is crazy. I really appreciate it. This kind of, as I figured, lets me know what's my go-to video when I need to do a big video, and then what's not so hot when when I'm making videos. But as we talk, I'm going to try to make one of the videos that I like, which normally doesn't play that well for whatever reason, and then a video that you guys seem to like because the views obviously talk and telling me that these are things that you want to know more about big cichlids, you want to know more about large fish, big tanks, how to take care of them. I'm down for that. So at least twice a month, that's what I'm going to be focusing on.
So Worldwide Tropicals asks, what do you guys feed your fish?
Check out my last video, but I'm not going to make you go that far back. But I wish I had it in front of me. I do the Tetra sticks. I really, the alternative to live food, they're big floating sticks. All my cichlids love them, and I've been feeding that to them for years. In fact, whenever I talk about showing fish, because sometimes I do talks and stuff like that, I always talk about the Tetra sticks. I'm also using the new Norfin flakes, the cichlid flakes. Again, check back my last video that I just talked about. I actually talk about the Norfin flakes. They're huge. My Lionine, some of my other cichlids that I'm growing out, love it. You can use the big flakes for the large cichlids, and then you can crumble it up for the smaller cichlids. I just love it. So those are two of the things I'm using. I never use live foods. I just had bad experiences with it, and I just don't want to risk my fish health. Anything else?
Nope, just talking about what they feeds.
All right, so last thing I want to talk about, I believe it's the last thing, is I want to thank everyone because over the weekend we hit 3,400 subscribers.
Yes.
Also, so 3,400 subscribers and counting. It's been about a year and 2 months, year and 3 months, so it's been incredible. And again, I have to shout out people like Jay Wilson, as he's still in the house. Michael from Michael's Fish Room has been a big help, and of course KG Tropicals is a huge help. And of course, I got to thank you guys for actually hitting that subscribe button and staying with us. I've done some kooky videos, and you guys have stuck with me, so I really appreciate it. You're probably going to see some more kooky videos because I like to be a little creative, and I hate doing the same thing over and over again. But hang in there with me. There's some good stuff coming.
So Harley wants to know if we've ever tried Extreme Aquatics Foods.
I have, and I think it's a pretty good product. In fact, I think I have a sticker on one of these laptops or something. Speaking of stickers, we got a sticker from River Life, so yes. I put it on my microphone along with Daniel's fish keeping sticker. So thank you for that again, Iraq.
So Chris Mascow suggests that maybe you should do a video on how to prepare your fish for show. Now I believe we've done that.
We've done a couple of those, but we should always update it.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea, Chris. We'll definitely do that. And again, this live stream is going to be a lot about that as well. It's already 8:21. I can't believe that. All right, guys. Any questions before we get off the news? Is everyone good? Anyone have any questions for us? Or we're going to jump right into it.
Nope, go ahead, right now. I mean, well, obviously it's a delay, but...
All right, so the next thing you're going to see is something that I put together, I think, 2 years ago when I was really into showing fish. And I put this out to be like, yo, the champ is here. I'm on the way. This is my final hurrah when I was going around to every fish show I could hit. And I had built up a stock of really show-worthy fish. That takes time. You talk about the Kentucky Derby and the Triple Crown. It takes a long time to get horses to where they're able to race and win races. It takes a long time if you're doing it the way I do it, where you take something medium-sized or smaller and you bring them up to where they're show-worthy, and you get them to where they're able to score a lot of good points. So 2 years ago, I had a stock of fish that I had brought up that were fantastic. So I was really feeling myself. I'm going to hit this video. It's about a minute, 10 seconds long. It shows you what Liz and I do when we are deciding what fish to take to a show. So I hope you enjoy.
The champ is here. 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 The champ.
I thought we need to switch seats or something.
Nah.
All right, let's see where we're at. All right, guys, we are back, and we have our stuff on. These are awards that we have done. One, kiss that. Kiss the trophy.
I left lipstick.
Yeah, you left lipstick on it.
Yeah, it's really
So,
lucky now.
I have to wear this hat, unfortunately, because I made a promise with the Goobans if he beat me at last year's show or had more awards than I did, that I would always wear this hat whenever I talk about shows. So, Dan, I'm doing exactly what I told you I would do. My hat is on. So, again, we want to talk about the 3 events that do you need to talk? Is there a chat you want to say?
All right. So Funk says they walk around quickly and quietly. That's a serious flashlight. Could double as a weapon.
But there's
Low
a
Life
chat
says,
you wanted to say before we went.
Let me get up, scroll back through, see if I can find it again. All right. So Kevin wants to know which fish would be a good starter show fish.
Kevin, are you talking cichlid or are you talking what? Fish shows normally have a variety of fish. It could be cichlids, it could be live bears, it could be all of those above. The Keystone Class is all those above. All fish they have categories for all fish. So If it's cichlids, and if you keep big cichlids, I think anything in the Amphilophus species family
They
does
always show
really
well.
well because they have a lot of attitude. They have a great form and body, and then they have long finish if you're doing it right. So those always get the judge's attention.
So Don Gooman says they are starting to go over their choices for the clash right now.
Oh, so is Don and them coming?
Oh, I'm sure they've got goldfish for days to win
I
trophies.
know, but
with.
I didn't think they were coming this year.
Well, looks like he is.
All right, Don, Dan, who was that, Don or
That's
Dan?
Don.
Don, let me know if you're coming or not, because if you're coming, I wasn't planning on bringing any fish this year, but if you're coming, I might have to bring some out. So let me know. Anyway, I got to put my glasses back on. Old man glasses.
Don says that hat makes you look good.
All right, yeah, Trimax are
Trimax?
beautiful. That's right, Harley. Gooman did a great job at the class last year. That's right, Chris, they did. I'm going to have to read the chat for you because you ain't reading
Well,
it.
I'm reading it, but you asked for questions, so that's where I was.
Okay, so again, we talked this September. The Keystone Class is taking place. That is, how do I do this? That one over there, Keystone Clash. What are the dates? September 13th through the 15th?
Yes.
Are you saying that? Or
No,
can
it
you see
is September 13th through the 15th.
Okay, last year we probably had one of the biggest fish shows in the nation. I mean, basically that's what was said, that we had the most entries ever in a fish show. I think it's going to be even bigger this year, so I'm looking forward to that. And then after that, I have 100. What's up?
Scott, you look like a broke Mr. T.
After that, we have the event that Liz and I have been running for 3 years, which is the Cichlid Show done by the ACA at the Aquatic Experience.
And that is limited to 100 entries, correct?
100 entries, and I already got like 5 or 6.
So if you want to get entered into that show and you're going to be in Meadowlands area in New Jersey, you want to get your entries in. It does fill up really fast.
So go to aquaticexperience.com and get registered. Go to contest, and you will scroll down and see the ACA Cichlid Show. I just bumped into a guy when I was with KG Tropicals and Rack who had already entered some fish. Didn't know much about it. Thought he had to bring his own tank. Tanks are provided just like at the Keystone Clash and just like at the OCA Extravaganza. Water is provided. I believe if you want to bring a sponge filter, you need to bring a sponge filter. Not for the AE, not for the one I'm running. That has filters already taken care of. We use hang on the backs at the AE Aquatic Experience Cichlid Show. I believe Keystone Clash is going to be using the bubblers like they normally do. Let me know if I'm wrong. If someone wants to correct me, I don't know if anyone from the Keystone Clash is there. Go ahead.
So Elizabeth Welch asks, she says, this could be a dumb question, but how do you find fish shows near where you live?
Well, that's an excellent question because, quite honestly, people think fish shows are dying. And so most of them take place in the Northeast area, quite honestly. It's the Keystone Clash. It's the OCA Extravaganza, CatCon, whenever that comes through.
This is this year.
So is it this year?
Yep.
Okay. And then ACA normally has a cichlid show. This year they did a biotope type of contest. I don't know how well that went over. I thought it was pretty cool, but I didn't see a ton of entries. So wherever this is taking place next year, the ACA convention, I want to say Texas, but I'm not sure. They may go back to the old format of showing cichlids. So those are really the top ones that I know of. I think some groups like the Potomac Valley has their bowl show every year in July. Here's the answer. Go to kingandqueencichlids.com. Liz always updates the calendar with the events coming up. Check it out every month, and you will know what shows are coming and taking place.
Okay.
How about that?
That sounds good. So the Fish Tank Barn wants to know how judges are How are judges selected for fish competitions?
That is another, Mike, how are you doing, sir? That is another great question. So, and this is a controversial question because sometimes people are picked that really aren't qualified to be judges. The Keystone Clash is a great pedigree of judges. We did have some complications last year. I don't know if Karen's on or not, but we had one particular judge who didn't know a particular fish well and ended up putting it in the category that it didn't belong in. Long story short, the Keystone Clash basically works where the speakers actually are the judges. This year, you got Rusty Wessel, Paul Lizelle, Rachel O'Leary. There's not going to be any confusion about any fish because those are the top line people when it comes to cichlids and fish. Paul Lizelle, half the fish that are going to be in the show are going to be fish that he's either discovered or done studies on. Same with Rusty Wessel. So you have no worries when it comes to the Keystone Class as far as judges, especially this year. You throw in Jennifer Williams, Chris Biggs, and I keep forgetting the other gentleman that's speaking. I do apologize for that. And you have a panel of judges that know what they're doing.
So Ray Conway wants to know, is there a size limit on a fish to take to the shows?
Absolutely. Well,
for AE there is.
Okay. There is not a size limit on the fish you bring. However, if it's larger than a 29-gallon tank, then you will have to bring your own tank, if that makes any sense to you. I.e., there's a guy named Tim who is bringing his Dovai that he's shown before at the 2017 Chicago AE Cichlid Show, and he had to bring his own tank to take care of his Dovai. So if you feel comfortable putting your 24-inch Dovai in a 29-inch tank, then go for it. If not, you're going to have to let us know. I'm just speaking for the Aquatic Experience at this point, and we'll probably tell you to provide your own tank, unless I have something here that I can help you with.
Okay, so Gary Haas says Amazonas Magazine has a national calendar monthly, as well as Aquarium Co-op does put up events and things that are happening as well.
Come to KingandQueenCichlids.com because we put stuff up daily. He's right about those magazines, but sometimes they don't showcase meetings and some of the more local shows that aren't as big and don't get the notoriety that they should in these larger magazines. Just my thoughts.
So Fish Tropic says, would you ever get into more nano species for shows?
Me, personally, no. She, probably, yes.
May or may not, yeah.
All right, but again, Keystone Class in September, Aquatic Experience Cichlid Show done by the ACA in October, and then we finish it off with the OCA Extravaganza in November. You're really jingling, baby.
I know.
You want to take them off?
These are really heavy, too.
Oh, my God.
They're heavy. They really are.
Okay, keep them away from the mic, please. Just put them away.
So any advice for someone fairly new to the hobby and considering doing shows?
Yeah, and we're gonna get there. I wasn't expecting so many questions so quickly.
There's several more.
but that's fine. My advice to you first is research about fish shows. Learn about them. I'm getting ready to drop a bunch of knowledge about what you need, how your cichlids need to be, or how your fish need to be, and what the judges are looking for. That's going to help you immensely as far as deciding whether or not you should even enter a show. Okay? That's going to help. Number 2, know the event you're going to. Know the judges that you're dealing with. Some events don't have the best judges. I went to an event, I'm not going to call the name out, and 2 of the judges came to me and said, is your Crenticiclia lenticuliata supposed to have a line in the side right there? And I knew right then that these guys didn't know anything about Crenticiclias, pike, cichlids, or anything like that. Yeah. He didn't score well, and that was basically because these guys were African cichlid keepers and knew nothing about the South American and Central American species, which was very difficult for me to accept because I had driven 6 hours with some top flight cichlids and had judges who didn't know anything about them judge them. So I'm telling you, as a person who shows fish, before you go hit that registration button and drop your money, make sure you know who the judges are, because that will make a difference. You don't want to get frustrated because your cichlid or fish wasn't judged properly.
So, Low Life, we're going to get into that question here in a minute as we move forward into our show.
Okay. I want to touch on judges one more time. The Aquatic, because we talked about the great lineup of speakers and judges the Keystone Class has. We have the similar lineup at the Aquatic Experience. Rusty Wessel will be there. He is the top judge. Ted Judy will be there. He is a top judge. He was a judge last year. Shelby Bush, is one of the top people at Seacrest Farms, who knows her fish, will be there. We will have judges, top line judges at the Aquatic Experience as well. Did you see something?
Debbie says, is all that stuff at the top is crowding your pretty face. If I turn my screen sideways,
Your sister said that?
Yes.
Oh, that's so
sweet.
All right, guys. So the next thing I'm gonna show you, and if you have questions, hold them. I'm gonna show you a video. It's only a minute long, and it's gonna show you what the judges actually do when they're judging. Watch it, and then ask questions. I think it's really important to see what these judges are doing. We're gonna talk about it later. So here we go. Oh, I forgot. I put a camera up.
Yep.
So, sorry about that, guys. So what you see now is Rusty Wessel. This trophy is actually getting heavy. Rusty Wessel, and all the judges you're going to see has a flashlight. They shine the flashlight on the cichlid, on the fish, to see their reaction. This is what we call deportment. If they get real shy and hide in the corner, they're not going to score well. They also shine the light on them to check out the colors, check out their conditions, make sure no fins are dropped, scales are dropped, anything like that. You are watching a ACA judging right now, and I'll be quiet for a minute and let you guys watch that. There is no sound, so you're just going to look at us and watch the video. If you see some chats, you can answer them.
So Ali Sean says, I brought a Petricola, now Lucipinius, to show it did not do well as the judge said it was small. He did not know it was a smaller Sinnoh, and that's a dwarf Sinnoh.
Mm-hmm.
So it's absolutely crucial that you know who your judges are before you spend a lot of time doing that.
Chris, Multi-Tanks Addiction, we were talking about Wet Spot. There's Steve Lundemole right there looking at some fish, and that is the incredible Pam Chin, who knows every Lake Tanganyika cichlid. Yeah. She knows all the African cichlids, but she's a specialist with Lake Tanganyika.
I mean, she's there 2 or 3 times a year, right?
That's the great thing about the ACA show. You have the cream of the crop when it comes to speakers. So this video is looping, so we're going
to Kaler, he was not poking him with a stick, just kind of moving the fish out of the area so they could see the side views or different views of the fish.
Oh my gosh, you all weren't supposed to see that. It's too late now.
OG says thanks for the fish he received. You're very welcome.
What?
OG's Fish Room, we sent him a shirt this week.
Oh, his shirt.
Yeah.
Okay, you sound like you said fish. Okay, so deportment. Oh my god! If you guys heard that, I have my webcam actually on our 22-inch Dovi's tank.
Yeah.
And if the camera moves, it's because he just slammed into it. So I apologize for that.
All right, Otter Creek, thank you for the $5 super chat. Trophy Polishing Fund. Keep up the good work.
Otter Creek, thank you so much. It's been good to see you in the live streams lately. It's great to have you here. I have no idea how many people are on. You guys mind if I look real quick?
I believe there was 80-some on.
83 on. Thank you so much, guys. That's incredible. One day we're going to break this 100 subscriber mark. 83 is ginormous to me because, as we said before, we go to a lot of meetings and there's not 83 people in the meetings at these. Go ahead.
So Chris Matskow said perfect timing. That's deportment. Dovi did.
Exactly right. So let's talk about deportment. Deportment, is it all right with how I take it?
Please.
Deportment is a fish's behavior. Mm-hmm. Judges, as you saw with Rusty, he actually had like a little plastic stick, and he'll move the stick around to see how the fish reacts to it. That is deportment. If your fish is shy and hiding in the corner, it is not going to score well. Now, I, believe it or not, have some old CCY judges sheets. Don't ask me why I kept these, but I did keep these. If anyone wants to know their score from 2014-15, I have them. But anyway, so here are the things that judges score on: size, deportment, which we're talking about now, color, condition, and finish. We're going to talk about all of them, and it is 8:40 now. My God, I hope we can get through this. I apologize, guys. This is going really fast. If you allow us to go longer, we will certainly go longer. Again, deportment. This is actually my Chancho in this picture. The judge has his hands at it, and my Chancho is charging at him. That is good deportment. He is interacting with the judge. That's what the judges want to see.
And he's actually right behind your shoulder over here.
Yeah,
this
but
is the same fish.
You can't see him
got the
from
good-
my fat. There he is to the side a little bit. Let's see. I know we don't have a lot of time, but there he is right there. That's
deportment.
That's deportment right there, buddy. I mean, I wish I could bring the camera closer, but they're looking for fish to interact and pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
The next one I'm going to give to you. Is there one in particular that you want? No, you can't do size yet. You want finish, color?
Sure, whatever.
All right.
I can talk about them all.
Awesome. The next one we have is spinach. So if you want to talk
All
about
right,
that
so
one.
before I do that, Kaler Aquatics, thank you for the $20
Oh.
super chat. Same
Bob.
amount when we top 100. 101 equals 101. Share, share, share.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you,
Bob.
Bob.
You are the best. We appreciate it. I haven't seen anything go to your wine fund, so just know that. So,
All right, so back to Finage. Finage, what they're looking for, not torn up, in very good to perfect condition. You know, sometimes, and it's unfortunate, if you get a big fish, it can tear its finage during travel, and that will actually count against your score. So it's very good to be careful with your fish. The better the finage, the better that category is going to place.
absolutely right. And I don't want to rant, but I'm going to rant a little bit.
Oh, God.
I don't. If you bring in a beta fish to a contest, and then it's going against a guppy of less finage, I get frustrated when a judge doesn't give more points to like the beta, which is going to have much more finage. It's much more difficult to get a beta out of a tank and into a show without damaging its fins,
Versus
as opposed to
A guppy or a
a
molly.
guppy or a molly or whatever else.
Yeah.
So.
And I think that goes for African versus South or Central American, like 20-inch fish. You know, that's hard.
I was gonna go into that rant too, where people, I feel like I should get like extra consideration if I bring a 22-inch doveye into your show, because it's gonna fight me. It's gonna, if we have time, I'm gonna show you a demonstration of how we actually put fish in. It's gonna fight me until the end, and it's gonna it's probably gonna get damaged in the fight of getting them out of the tank into a container, driving how far you got to go, and then trying to get them back up into a tank. I'll tell you a story. 2017, I was at the NEC, the NEC Cichlid show. I had an Amarillo, Amphilovis Amarillo, that was in perfect 10 condition. Perfect, was he not?
He was fantastic.
I took him to this show. He looked fantastic. I opened up the lid. Someone put my big-ass fish, big-ass fish, on the top level of a stand, and I had to pick him up and somehow get him in there, and by the time I got him into the tank, he got a scratch over his eye. I think he came in third place. He might have won Best People's Choice because he was such an interactive fish.
His deportment was amazing.
But I was so mad that I had spent all that time. Thank you for Chris.
So thank you, Chris, for Multi-Tank Addiction. $5 to the wine fund.
Oh,
what?
jeez, Chris, what are you doing to me?
Cheers, Chris.
Long story short, I had a great fish. It's really important how you take your fish out of your tanks. It's really important how you get them there and how you get them into the show tank.
Now, Fish Keeping Jamaica baby shower fund. I don't know who's having a baby. It's not this girl. So no baby shower fund.
Yeah.
Maybe a grandbaby fund. We have our 5th grandchild due in January, but not a baby.
Yep. All right, so I'm going to take
All right.
color next.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Sure.
Why?
Bob says some of the most useful content I've ever seen.
Really?
Thank you, Bob.
Why isn't my color coming up? That's because I have too many things on. Why do I have finish still on? Hang in there with me, guys. All right, so color. You're going to help me a little bit with this because you have some experience with that. But color, obviously, here, first of all, know all the information you should know about your fish. Please know how big it's supposed to be, because judges want to see adult fish. Know how big it's supposed to be, know what size it's supposed to be, what condition it's supposed to be, and what color it's supposed to be at its best.
Right.
Okay? I forgot what this African cichlid's called. I think it's a sapphire or something or another. Some of you African cichlid guys, let me know. but I saw this picture and I thought it was a great picture for color. You want to select fish that show good color under stress or in perfect conditions. You had a beautiful chocolate cichlid,
Yes.
beautiful chocolate cichlid, but when you got it to the show, it went just stale. It just
Well, yeah, he was very stressed. He just went flat color. Chocolates are not good show fish. Fish, they do not do well in stressful or new situations. As far as some other fish will do much better.
right. So
Yeah.
whoever asked me that question about advice about what to bring, make sure you're bringing a fish. Is there something you want to say?
Good.
Make sure you're bringing a fish that does well under stress, that his colors still look bright.
Yeah.
One of the tricks that we have always done, especially, and this is for color and deportment, because color is based on stress, you want to put the cichlids or fish that you're going to show in lots of traffic so they get used to people being around them, looking at them, poking around. If you have a fish secluded that's not used to a lot of attention and traffic,
Yeah.
they're not going to show well. Their color's going to fade,
Right.
and stuff like that. I do not advise this at all. But one of the tricks my Uncle Kevin Carr told me, who was a top-notch fish shower, who got me into doing fish shows and got me into competing, would take, right before the judges got there, he would take some hot water, pour it into the tank, because warmer water will make the colors pop out. So, little trade secret, but
not legal in a lot of shows.
not legal, and don't get busted doing that, please.
So they're saying it's a dragon blood peacock.
Thank you very much. So you got that tip from me, but if you get busted, I don't know you. Don't say the king queen told me to do that.
So Cichlid Strain Hunter wants to know what's the best container for a 12-inch fish. Now we use Rubbermaid totes.
Tell him to hold on.
Oh, we're getting there.
We're getting there.
My apologies.
No, that's not a problem. It's a great question.
Sure.
I actually have something. Look, I'm gonna shoot to it real quick. Right behind us, that's our demonstration that we're gonna do.
So JH Aquatics had asked this earlier about using a flashlight, because he saw in the video about the judges using flashlights. And anything you can do that's interactive with your fish to get them used to different things. And somebody else made the comment of, I believe it was Don Guman, said, use the flashlight when you feed. That way, when the judge uses the flashlight, he thinks he's being fed and he comes to the front.
That's the biggest tip anyone has ever given me.
Yep.
Scott Myers, Ohio Cichlid Association, who is a grand champion. That's one of the things he does with his fish. He keeps them basically in the dark for two reasons. When fish are in the dark, that's when they show their most color. And he would do it because he would put a light on and they would instinctively come forward because they know it was feeding time.
Right.
He had trained them when the light comes on that they're getting food, and they would become very interactive with that person. So great point. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm going to need you to talk about condition next.
All
you
right.
want that?
Sure.
Is that okay?
That's fine. So condition, very simple. Your fish, you don't want any eye injuries, any tail injuries, any misshapen body forms, any kind of scrapes or scratches along the fish that aren't supposed to be there. So you want to make sure they're in tip-top shape, basically. Healthy, no sick fish.
Eye clarity is really important. Sometimes in transportation, if you don't know what you're doing, eyes get clouded because the ammonia rise in them being in their container.
Yeah.
That's huge. I know a lot of judges who first thing they do with their flashlight is look in the eyes and make sure their eyes aren't cloudy. So clarity of the eyes is really important. You said everything else pretty good. No scales missing, no marks like I said with the Amarillo. You don't want to see any like humpbacks. What do you call it?
No deformities.
No deformities.
Sometimes a fish that grows large, it's kept in a small tank. We saw a pleco yesterday out and about that was kind of shaped like this.
Yeah.
And you could tell that this was a common pleco. They obviously get very large, was kept in a tank that was too small, and his body became deformed.
Absolutely right. Now we have, again, I keep talking about this doveye in front of us. 22 inches long. His color's great. His deportment, as you know, you can hear it, is fantastic. Fins don't have a single scar on them. but he's got a blister on his lip from just running into the glass and the top and then lip locking with his female that he wouldn't be disqualified, but he would score so low it just
it's
wouldn't
not even worth it.
Not even worth his time. I know that over years of experience. You know that over years of experience. Hopefully, people will know if you got an obvious defect to your fish, don't waste your entry fee. Don't waste your time bringing them because it's not going to score well.
And it's stressful for the fish to bring them to shows. So that is another thing to take into consideration. You know, if taking a fish out of its environment, putting it into a container, driving it however many hours to a show, you know, you don't want to do that unless, you know, you're really confident that fish is a winner.
Okay, so here's the question for you, and I'm going to answer it as soon as I ask the question. Why do we do fish shows? The reason why we do fish shows, and there's a lot of controversy about if it's bad for the fish, the cichlid, whatever. Is it bad? Is it a bad experience? I can say with 100%. I can say that the Keystone Class has done a fantastic job over the years, making sure there is no fatalities. There've been a few over the years, but if you think about probably the thousands at this point entries over the years, to have one or two fatalities is outstanding. We have a crew now, or they have a crew now with Callie that actually checks the water parameters and lets you know what the water conditions are previous to you even bringing your fish, so you're aware it's high pH, low pH, hard water, soft water, etc. We've never had that before, but for the last 2 years, Callie Parker, who is from...
She's from Bucks County Aquarium Society, and she also works for...
API.
Thank you. That's it.
And she's the president of Bucks County Aquarium Society.
Yes.
Fantastic lady. She has a YouTube channel. You might as well shout her out, Super Fish Nerd. So if you haven't checked her out, check out the Super Fish Nerd. What's going on with these guys out here?
They're just talking to themselves.
Just talking to themselves. So anyway, the reason why we do this, let me get back to the point, is because we want to promote the hobby. Many people don't know what variety of cichlids, variety of fish are out there till they actually come to a show and they're like, oh my God, I never... Happens to me every year at the Aquatic Experience. It's our third time doing the show. People come and they're like, oh my God, I didn't know there was such a variety of cichlids. This gives people the opportunity to see them. It gets them excited, and it gets them wanting to keep these fish. Yeah. It gives me the ability to talk about the fish, how to take care of them properly, what their requirements are. Sometimes when they ask me about African cichlids, I have to go get someone who knows more about it than I do, obviously. But it's a great opportunity for people to see the variety of cichlids. The other thing that I discovered in trying to get entries, it's a great opportunity for people who sell fish to show their fish.
True.
Primetime Aquatics, I can't think of, Imperial Tropicals. Mike put in probably 20 entries into the show, and not only did he win at the ACA AE show, he also had a ton of customers that came to him because they saw the fish that he had and they wanted to buy them from Mike at Imperial Tropicals. I'm assuming that some other fish people are going to do that as well.
Yeah.
Did you have something?
The thing I really enjoy about the fish shows, especially for holding them in hotels, is I can't tell you how many people just staying at the hotel with children have come in and may now be fish keepers because they've experienced what it's about. We've educated, we've talked to them, we've shown them what's available for them to keep out there. We even have them participate in some of the Give a Kid a Tank contests.
Yeah.
And it's just reaching a wider audience and promoting the hobby.
Yeah, absolutely right. So there is, people feel differently about shows. I'm telling you, as a person that runs a show now, that has entered fish, I think it's a great experience for people to come see fish and cichlids. If you and there's a low risk as long as you are doing things properly. There's a very low risk of you losing your fish if you follow the procedures properly. If you have any questions about your fish, come to me at AE and I will tell you what's going on. 3 years we've been doing AE.
Yes.
We lost one fish, and that fish was dead on arrival. So I don't even take that one as a loss for us.
Right.
So we've never lost a fish, nor I'm never going to say we never will, but we do a really good job making sure all the tanks, the water is conditioned, etc. Do you have anything? Or?
Susanna just joined us.
Hey,
he
Susanna.
said, nice shirt, and I forgot to talk about this. While we're talking about the Keystone Clash, this was last year's Keystone Clash shirt, which was why I decided to wear it tonight.
Okay.
Since we were talking about conventions.
All right, so we're going to do my last one. There's 91 people watching. We're 9 away from the 100 number. Just 9 away.
And didn't Bob say 101 equals 101?
Well, we got 5 minutes left. We're going to go long, guys. I'm sorry, but 94 on. We're almost there. Let me get back. We have one last condition that we're going to do. A doggy is scratching me. It's got to be Bunny. No, it is Rico. So, last one. This just in. Despite what any girl or anyone else says, size does matter. Now, I'm going to show you this picture. I don't recommend you ever doing this. This picture came from someone that you and I know very well, and I was shocked when I saw this picture from him. And I'm not going to say his name, obviously, but he is a well-polished hobbyist for years. And when I saw that he was measuring this fish like this, I'm going to talk to him later. But I found this in like an archives of some years ago. I'm sure he doesn't do this anymore. But size. Judges are looking for adult fish. Okay?
Yeah.
Just because your cichlid is beautiful in all the other categories we talked about, if it's supposed to be 15 inches and it's 5, it's not going to win. You're not going to get a lot of points for that. What's up?
Just a lot of people's size does matter.
We said there was going to be a little adult, a little PG-17. So, the other great thing for me is we've done this so long, we know what judges look for. Some people, this is going to sound funny, don't think size is as important as color or condition and stuff. It really depends on your judge how they feel about size. Yeah. Most people, when they're judging big cichlids like the ones I have, Central and South America, size is huge. They want to see specimens of the correct size. Pistogrammas, African cichlids, they may be a little more lenient on those. But when you bring the big tank busters, they're expecting to see the correct size, which Adovi should be right up there to 25 to 28 inches, Jaguars in the 20 range, Amphilophus species should be anywhere in the 14 to 17 range inches. So, I've said this probably every time we set a category. Know your fish. I keep looking at this light. I'm sorry. Know your fish. And make sure you've researched it so you know what size it's supposed to be before you enter him.
Right. Absolutely.
Okay. Any questions on that? Or is everyone still tripping about size matters?
Yeah, so far we're good.
All right. So, we are going to... I'm going to go... Uh-oh, wrong thing. I got to get rid of either Wet Spot or a Seacrest Farm shirt. Okay? So, I want you to pick someone in the house. Who do you want?
Oh my gosh, there's so many people in the house.
What's up, Palmer? How you doing, brother?
Let's hit up Kaler's Aquatics. Let's hit Bob up.
You want to hit Bob up?
Yeah.
Bob, are you in the house?
Yeah, he's here.
Bob, are you willing to play the game?
Would you like to play match game with me? We got that mind thing going on, Bob.
So, Bob, the way this works is I'm going to give you a word. You have to finish the word. So, if I give you battle, you can say ground. If I give you, or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Whatever the first thing to pop in your head is.
Exactly. What's up, Tim? How you doing, brother? Talking about the aquatic experience, buddy. I'm looking for, you're going to be at the Keystone Class, too. Looking forward to seeing that. Bob is there.
So,
He's
Bob
saying
wants the wet spot.
All right, Bob, you got the wet spot. Again, if I say, if the word is ice, she might say cube, she might say pick. You got to match the word that she said.
And I did answer this earlier, so Scott already knows my answer.
I have the answer here, so we're going to bring the word up.
The word is
fish
blank. So what would I have said to fish blank, Bob?
I should have had that already queued up,
You
right?
should have.
Oh my God, this dove eye. How wet is the spot? Oh my God, fishy biz. And you're a teacher? Come on, Bob. Fish what?
All right, so Bob said fish food.
Oh.
That was not what I said. So
All
how
right.
does that work then?
We'll save the prize for next. This crazy girl said fish sticks. I was so mad when she gave me this answer because I'm like, we're gonna be talking about fish shows. Why would you say fish show? Bob, I can't even believe you didn't say fish show.
So the first thing that popped into my mind was fish sticks. I don't know why, if I was hungry when he asked me, but the first thing I thought was fish sticks.
I am sorry, Bob. You are not a winner.
And if you knew me, though, that would make total sense.
You are not a winner today, but we certainly appreciate you so much, Bob. Your support.
Candy thought sticks. Thank you. I'm not crazy.
So we're going to be doing this on a regular basis. Get ready for that. I forgot to mention that Aquafunk, Susie Q, and I are going to be doing contests as well. It's going to be really fun. I hope they don't mind me talking about this. But Aquafunk's going to find someone in his feed and ask a quiz question. If that person gets it right, they can take the prize at Aquafunk's feed, or they can do double or nothing and go to Susie Q.
Oh, that's interesting.
Susie Q's going to have a bigger prize, and if you want to go for that bigger prize, that same person who got it right with Aquafunk then has to go to Susie Q's stream. Susie Q will ask that person a question. If they get it wrong, they lose everything. If they get it right, they get the bigger prize. Yes, you will know what the bigger prize is that Susie has before you have to make that decision. If you get question number 2 right, you can play triple or nothing, and you can come see Scott and Liz. We're going to have the grand prize here with the most difficult question, and you can see if you can win the grand prize. Now, if you get the question wrong, you lose everything. So you have a really difficult choice to make. Should I just take what I get from Aquafunk? Or if you go second to Susie Q's and get it right, should I take what I get from Susie Q? Or should I go for the big macaroni and go to Scott and Liz's stream?
Where you might get fish sticks.
So Aquafunk, Susie Q, and I have some prizes. Thank you, Seacrest Farm. They're going to be hooking us up with stuff, as you can see. We already got some t-shirts from Seacrest Farm. We're going to have some cool prizes. Hopefully that will encourage everyone to see all of our channels starting at 6 o'clock with Aquafunk, 7 o'clock with Susie Q, and then 8 o'clock with us. So, sorry, Bob, you didn't get that question right. That just means someone gets to try it again next feed. $20 at the wet spot.
Or a Seacrest Farms t-shirt.
Or a Seacrest Farms t-shirt. You got to be in it to win it. That's right, Funk. So, 86 people on. We're 3 minutes over. I do want to show if people want to. This is a really funny demo that I'm going to show you. But here's our other camera. Let me know if those guys can hear me or not.
So when Scott gets over to the demo area, if you just want to let him know, or let me know, and I'll let him know.
Or you can talk for me if they can't hear me.
Sure.
Can you see me?
Get down a little lower.
Oh!
And there you go. Gorgeous.
I probably should have had a light back here. So, obviously you guys know I keep the big cichlids. So, the way this works is, see these, we get these totes from Walmart, honey?
Yep, Walmart.
And this is what we put our cichlids in when we decide to move them or take them to a fish show. We drill a hole into the top of it for an airline. And then we use, oh my goodness, I'm getting old. We used to use some older battery pumps, But now we're using this. Can you see that?
These are the rechargeable plug-in pumps, and you just like your phone, you plug them into the wall, they recharge them, and they're fantastic.
These are amazing. We love these. We swear by these. You can get these from our friends, Super Cichlids. Can those guys hear me? I hope so.
Yeah, they can hear you. Just speak a little louder.
They can get these from Super Cichlid, or you can repeat what I'm saying.
You can get the Cobalts from Super Cichlids.
Speaking of Super Cichlids, they have their grand opening next Saturday.
Yes.
So you definitely want to check them out. But what I do is you drill a hole. I'm gonna do that. You drill a hole through the top. You put the airline in. Chris Masco should know this. I taught him how to do this. In fact, I probably have some of his totes. Ha ha ha. Put that in like that. And then you connect, obviously, your battery-powered air pump into this. You fill it up with water that actually came from the tank that the fish is in. And then what I do, I actually pick up the fish by hand and put them into the tank. So what you guys want to see? You want to see me take this Midas out?
No.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Here he is. He's going. He's going.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. He's going.
That is the strangest looking Midas I've ever seen.
There he is. And what I do, this is honestly what I do. I grab them by the hands because sometimes the nets, especially with these bigger fish, will mess the scales up. I grab them by the hand and I actually put them in the water like that.
So they say, raise your voice.
I actually put him in my hand, get him out of the tank by my hands, and put him in the tank like that. Some people take a large bag and scoop them up. That's another great way to do it. I wish Alan and Karen were here so they could talk about how they do it. That's how I do it. Put the lid over top, lock it down, and that's how my fish look in their container with some water. And he's good for a while.
All right, so they want to know what size fish you would put in that tote.
Probably nothing bigger than 14, 15 inches tops.
All right, and Alishan says September 21st is Super Cichlid's grand opening.
So that's not next.
That's next month.
September 21st?
September 21st.
I am sorry. I thought for sure he told me. Okay, Tom knows better than I do. That's Tom. So, any questions about that, guys?
So next time we will put a mic back there for Scott. Because I really like the whole demo thing.
Well, going back to KG Tropicals and Rat, I actually was going to do, let's take this fish stuff off. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds, guys. What's going on? I hate when you laugh and you don't say anything.
I'm laughing at you.
I just totally lost my train now. What was I talking about?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Listening.
Anyway, so
you were saying about what Rack and John had said.
Oh, thank you. Actually, I was going to do a demo of me actually doing aquascaping a tank for large cichlids because I'm so fed up with seeing all these cichlids and being in bare tanks. But we spent so much time, and I told John I was going to blame him for this. We spent so much time with John, Lisa, and Rack that by the time I got home, it was late. And I didn't have time to really move all the tanks and get all the decorations into this fish room. So maybe next week we will try to do, or I will try to do, because Liz is going to be like, I ain't doing that.
Nope, not doing it.
I will try to do a demonstration of how I do my aquascaping. A lot of people really like my tanks and have the biotope look. And I'll show you how I do that with a little help from Liz. Okay? Any questions? It is now 9:08.
So, Rounded Rob wants to know what model number that Cobalt pump was.
Ooh.
And that I do not know. I know there are two kinds of those Cobalts. One with the 2 airline hookups and one with the 1 airline hookups. And the great thing is that the charging cables are good for either one. And they're USB, so you can plug them in your car. You know, when you're traveling, you can use them at home.
I don't know if you can see anything on there.
I know. Let's see.
I tell you what, my friend, as I said, go to supercichlids.com.
Yeah,
Lisa and Martin, they have them on their website, and you can pick one from there. Just go under, I think it's under filters, and check it out. Or they might have a section just for pumps, so definitely check that out.
All right, so going to Aquashella, do you recommend the tote demo for bringing fish back?
That's such a fishy biz. That's a great idea. If you're getting a large fish, absolutely. If you're getting different fish, I don't know if you would want to put them all together in a tote like that.
No.
One might nip on the other. Now, I'm specifically talking about cichlids. It could be different if you're getting guppies or mollies or something that are mild-mannered.
You could use Tupperware.
Absolutely.
But we take totes with us when we go on shop hops or anything. We take totes just in case we end up purchasing a large fish.
Aquafunk, I've heard of people have them in plastic bags in the totes so that is less possible damage in the fish. Absolutely right, Aquafunk.
And I think that's less stress, too. That dark helps with their stress level when traveling.
He didn't say anything about a dark plastic bag. He just said a plastic bag. But you're also absolutely right. I actually also know Scott at OCA. What he does is he drains his tank. He keeps them in like 10 and 20 gallon tanks, his fish, showfish. He drains them down halfway. Actually just takes the whole tank with him and then puts it on display and fills the water back up. He uses his own tanks, his own water. That way you don't have to mess with the fish at all, which is super smart. And that guy has won. You think I won a lot of awards.
Yeah,
He's
he is.
3 times more awards than I do.
So World Aquarium Singapore wants to know if the FX6 is still the best filtration. He is thinking of buying one.
I have 2 FX6 on this tank behind me with the arowanas that you really can't see. I'm impressed with them. I'm not a huge canister filter person, and I wouldn't say that they're the best filter. I think I'm always going to stick to the old standby of sponge filters are the best as far as beneficial bacteria. I don't know if JH Aquatic is still on here, but he has a lot of knowledge as far as filters as well and what's best. For me, I like the sponge filters or the matte filters. I think they're really cool too. That's typically what we use, and then some of my tanks have like a canister filter that just kind of polish the water. But there's nothing, actually I'm lying to you, there is a sponge filter in the arowana tank as well. So there's 2 FX6 on the arowana tank and a large sponge filter, the largest one I could find. And that tank is crystal clear, and that's got a pleco in there that's putting a pile of doo-doo in there. But
So he also asks how to keep an arowana with a flower horn.
I wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't either.
I wouldn't do it at all. I apologize. I mean, you can certainly try it. Many people didn't think I could keep 2 arowanas together, much less a pike, but they got along well. My fear would be flower horns are really aggressive, and they nip at fins, and your arowana's either going to go crazy and jump out of the tank because it's getting nipped up so much, or he's going to return fire and swallow your flower horn. I guess it all depends on size again, but I wouldn't put those 2 together.
All right, so Fishy Biz, do I rebag or keep them in the bag purchased? Will they last for 2 days? Cichlids.
We just had that conversation with Discus Hans, and Discus Hans said, and I don't know if it's the way he bags them, that fish would be good for 2 to 3 days.
And that he puts the air pump into it. So they are getting that oxygen that will keep them, and he's super tight on the bags. But if you're just taking a bag, twisting it, it's not going to last for 2 or 3 days.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Liz, historically, when I started dating Liz, she would take the bags and leave the fish in for a day or 2 when we were out, and it would freak me out because I always, as soon as I would get something, I would put it in a tote, condition the water, and get an air pump on it. That's just me, and I'm sure more experienced people might laugh at that, but I just didn't want to take any risk. I've actually seen her successfully keep fish in bags for 2 days or more and bring them home. We did that recently. I don't know where we were at, but we got fish. At Bucks County, we spent the night, and then I actually put new water into the fish bag. So to answer your question, you can do it with bags, but I like to refill the bag up with new water the next day or a few hours later, if that makes any sense. 74 people still on. Are there any questions? Because we're basically done with my portion of what we were doing. And that's not a mouse. What are super beautiful? What World Aquarium Singapore? Yes, both are beautiful, super beautiful fish. Super answers. Thanks. Yeah. J.S. Aquatic says, I don't what's best, but I love sponge filters or plants. I agree. Plants are another great way to filter your tank, especially because they will absorb a lot of the ammonia that's in your tanks. All right, guys. I think we're going to wrap it up. It's 9:14 now. You got to go to work.
Oh, God.
Right?
No. Yes, I do.
We're going to have... It's going to be a 3-day... well, for me, it's going to be a 3-day weekend next week with it being Labor Day. So we might throw an extra video in. Again, check out John, KG Tropicals. His videos probably already dropped from All Our Fun from yesterday. I'm going to have one next. And then I think River Life is following us after that. Definitely, if you're not subscribed to KG Tropicals, definitely subscribe to them. I'm not even going to tell you to check their library. That is a channel you need to definitely check out. They're always going to provide some great information. River Life, Rat Cross, check him out as well. Great information, not only on fish, on birds, bonsai trees. Just a great guy in general. Oh my God, that's what I forgot to do. We actually got an award from River Life. This is the third award he's given out, and he said the last award he's given out. And I don't know if he's doing something special on video, so I'm sorry if I ruined this for you, Rack. But he gave this to Liz and I for our work as far as helping other channels, highlighting and helping other channels in the community. And he said this was the last award he would ever give out. So River Life, thank you so much for this award. It was an honor to get it, and I can't wait to see the footage of you actually giving it to us. Because I don't remember what happened.
You about teared up, and,
Yeah. Hey, right. Scott, can you acclimate a Giardini and Silver Water to be tank mates? See, I'm going to tell you this, guys, I always want to be honest with you. I didn't get into silver arowanas until a year and a half ago, maybe.
When we were asked to rescue one.
Yeah, I mean... I never had an affection for them, but then when I got one, I was like, these arowanas are fantastic and so cool to watch, so badass. So I'm saying this to you because what experience I have has just been the hands-on experience I've had over the last year and a half. And I just do the basics like I do with my big cichlids, as far as filtration, water changes, good diet, stuff like that. I don't know enough about the Giardini, whether those two would be a good fit for each other. John and I actually were talking about that because it was a Giardini there, and I was like, $125. That's not a bad price.
But it's when you don't know,
Absolutely.
much about it, it's...
And John was like, you're not putting that little Giardini in with your arowana. I was like, no, I would never do that. But I just didn't know enough about it to actually pull the trigger on that. But I love the way the Asian arowanas look, and the Giardini is probably the closest I'm ever going to get to it since it's not legal. So I might actually purchase one, but to answer your question, I don't know. I really don't know. So I apologize for not having a better answer for you. I'd just rather be honest and tell you I don't have enough experience with them to give you a good answer. I didn't even know that this 2 silver arowanas were going to work out until I just tried it. I monitored. I think I was on vacation for 2 days, and I monitored it for a couple of days to make sure they were all right. I even put a webcam in here so I could watch them in case there was a problem. But that worked out. But no idea about the Giardini and the silver arowana.
So David Gonzalez wants to know how the red Terra Fry are doing.
The red Terra Fry are doing great. They have grown up into about... 2 inches now, something like that. I actually just put some in with my Amphilophus lioni fry. Don't know if that, not fry, but grow outs. They're all about the same size. So I'm hoping that works out well because the special fish that I got yesterday, I needed to make room for them. So I had to move some stuff around. And I thought that the grow outs of the Amphilophus lioni and the Feste would be all right together. So far, so good. But I'm also keeping an eye on that as well. Can't wait for you guys to see the new fish I got.
So Reno Summer says Giardini is normally a solo fish and tank mate killer.
Yeah, and then Chris says Giardini are super aggressive sometimes. Totally agree with that. Again,
yeah.
I would, if I got one, and I almost did. I almost told you.
I'm so glad you didn't.
If I hadn't seen this other fish that I actually got, I probably would have went home with it. But my plan was always to put that fish by itself because it's a royal killer fish. It would have been a showcase fish in this display room.
See, I didn't even know that much about that fish.
Oh, I'd done my basic research, but as far as compatibility with other silver arowanas, I don't know, and that's probably nothing that I would do anyway because I like that Giardini to stand on his own and be like, check that bad boy out. I wouldn't want to, take away from the silver arowanas or the silver arowanas, take away from the Giardini.
So, World Aquarium Singapore says arowana with jewels. No, that's food for those fish.
Absolutely.
They will eat them in a heartbeat. Case in point, we had some beautiful big silver dollars, and I was like,
they were really big.
And I didn't think they would have fit in these arowanas' mouth, but they're like snakes. They unhinge.
Multi-tank edition. Mine is a 90-gallon right now with 3 Electra Blue, Akara, bristlenose plecos, and peppered Cory. Everyone is fine. But he's only 8 inches right now.
Yeah.
So you do have a Giardini? I didn't know that, Chris. I must have missed that in your live stream when you were showing some of your tanks.
So, yeah, I mean, at 8 inches, I would watch those fish don't start disappearing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they're super cool. Don't get me wrong. I'm really interested in one. Yeah. But I would have to give up something in here, and I don't know.
What?
Yeah.
Everything. We're kind of attached to everything in here.
I'm super excited about my video coming up. I'm super terrified, too, because, like I said, there's like 2 cameras worth of video, memory cards, stuff on my phone, stuff on her phone. We saw some really cool stuff, and I don't know how I'm going to get all of it done. And I'm so jealous that John already got his done. It just shows you what another level he's at as far as a YouTuber, that he can just take all that information, all that footage, and get it into a video overnight. So, again, I want to say this one more time. We had such a great time with really John and Lisa and Rack. I mean, it was such a great time. I don't want to say I was surprised, but I was surprised that all of us got along so great. It was nothing but love and respect, and we all had lunch together, and it was a really great time, and I needed that. I had a kind of bad experience at ACA, and I needed that camaraderie to just have, be with some people and just have a great time and talk fish. Talk nothing else but just talk fish.
Well, you all talked fish. Lisa and I talked rescue.
Oh, true. And I knew you and Lisa.
And that I loved. I loved being able to talk about rescue and cats and other aspects with somebody.
But I knew you and Lisa were going to hit it off. I think she's a great woman. Obviously, I love you to death, and I think you're a crazy great woman.
Crazy
great woman. And I knew you guys were going to hit it off because of the way you love animals and pets and stuff like that.
Yep, and Zenon said that on the post, too. The Mutual Admiration Society of you guys with your cameras.
But it was cool. It was
positive energy. Absolutely right.
It was like no drama zone. We're not talking about any drama. We're not going there. We're going to talk about positive stuff.
It was all.
We're going to help each other out. I mean, even John is humble enough to come to Rack and I and say, hey, what do you think I should get? Blah, 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 blah. He would come to us about, hey, tell me more about this Jaguar cichlid, Scott. Tell me more about, this is your lane, Scott. Tell me more about it. Yeah. Which was an honor for me because, again, this guy has 120,000 subscribers. And I know I have a lot of experience through all the stuff I've done, but it was still nice to have someone of that YouTube stature come and say, hey, I want your advice. I want your thoughts on that. So, John, thank you very much for being so cool. Really appreciate it. You too, Rack. You too, Lisa. We're down to 62 people, and it's almost 9:23. Should we go for 7 more minutes and just cut it off?
I mean, we can. Does anybody else have any other questions or comments?
Who's going to the Keystone Class? Who's going to the OCA?
Zenon said he'll see us at the Keystone Class.
I am looking forward to it.
3 weeks, I think it is. That's really not that far away now.
Okay, Cove, I have to go get my video finished. Great stream, Scott, Liz. Thank you. See y'all later. Hugs and love. We love you, Cove. We will definitely be checking out your videos as soon as it posts.
So Zenon, it's a hobby, not politics. No drama. Absolutely.
It was just so refreshing not to talk about anything like that.
And the food.
Oh, the food.
You found this cute little diner.
It was called the Grill in something.
Quarterback Station, I believe.
And it was literally 2 miles. Was it 2 miles away from? It was 6 minutes to get there. It was 2 miles away from the first store we went to, which was House of Tropicals. So it all worked out great.
So, Mob, the wine I'm drinking tonight is Jackson Square Paralyzing Peach.
Peter, how are you doing, buddy? Mob Guppy. I am sorry you put a video out today and I haven't checked it out yet, but I will do that before I go to bed. I hope you're doing well. Zenon, I don't know how many entries are in so far at the class show because Liz and I retired.
Yep.
And we're not a part of it this year. I know they're doing a fantastic job, and I know entries are coming in.
If Chris is still on, he might know.
Chris might know, but it's always a great time, and I'm sure there's going to be tons of entries.
So, Arowana, good with a bear tank or escaped?
Oh,
Planted tank. No plants. I don't.
Why not?
Do you think?
Yeah, I definitely don't go bear. That's just my opinion. I know you can't really see the tank behind me. We'll probably do our next feed in front of the tank, but I do have some rocks and some driftwood in the arowana tank, and they love it. And
now he said cleaning the arowana tank is my concern, and you've had your issues with that.
Okay, Mike, having a bad night in the fish barn. What happened?
Hey, wine fund. Bad night in the fish. Polywood tank is leaking and causing a big mess.
All right, Mike, go ahead and take care of that, brother. If there's anything we can do to
awful.
help you, please let me know. Ginger Graves, so much.
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate the $5. Well, she does.
I appreciate you.
I really do. When the funds come in, I do give her money and say, hey, this is for the wine.
And
so,
Jay's Betta, I knew you had a emergency in the fish room earlier too, so I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, Mike, we're with you, buddy. So anything we can do to help, please let us know. Mike, the Fish Tank Barn, great channel. Candy, if you could put up his feed, I appreciate it. I'm working Candy to death, I'm sure. 4 more minutes until the feed ends. Mike says, I got it handled, but just frustrated. I've been there, brother.
And you know, there's that company that sent us some product to try, Monster Aquarium. They now sell a silicone that you can put on in the water.
Bye, Bob from Kaler's Aquatic.
Bye,
I see you
Bob.
got to run. Thank you so much. You always support us with super chats. You always come to our videos and leave comments. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how much we appreciate that. Fish Tank Barn, thank you, Candy, for leaving his link. We're down to 58 people. And you know what?
What?
You want to wrap it up?
Sure.
All right, guys. We love you very much. Thank you. I don't know. I think I saw 94 at one point.
That's awesome.
I hope we get to 100 at some time sooner or later. I think with this video coming out from KG Tropicals, I know we're going to gain some more subscribers. We are prepared to put down some great videos because we've been given this opportunity thanks to KG Tropicals, and we're going to fulfill it to the best that we can by putting out some great material. So Friday at 5 will be a new video, and again, we'll be doing a live stream Sunday at 8 o'clock, and we're going to throw in something in between because it's a 3-day weekend.
Raymond, first time in, I watched the KGT collab video, came in and subscribed.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I'm sorry that we're shutting down our live stream, but that's the perfect comment I was looking for. Exactly what I'm talking about. KG Tropicals, what a hell of a group of people. John and Lisa, thank you so much. And we just had a great weekend. It was a fantastic.
It was.
I gotta go check out this video.
I was exhausted, but a really great time.
All right, Scott, I'll send you a picture in a minute of Sammy the
Saratoga. That's his arowana.
He's Giardini. I'll definitely love to see that. Jackie Marr, love y'all's videos. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Candy, I'm sorry for working you overtime, girl. I really do appreciate your help. We're gonna get out. And let me see if I can stop this thing.
Bye, guys.
Bye,
Thank
bye.
you.
Love you guys. Thank you so much. Hit that like button.